Erev Tov, Shalom Aleichem, brothers and sisters. Chag Sameach. This is the final night of the Festival of Lights of Chanukah, of the rededication of the temple. Um, it's a dark time, you guys. It's a dark time. I know you're not fooled. I don't need to tell you what you already know. Um, but just like our ancestors fought the fight that they did in order to sanctify, rededicate the altar. That's chiefly what had been desecrated. Um, and the house, by extension, was desecrated after that. Um, the fight, that was a battle. All right, that was a battle. The war has never stopped because here we are now finding that there are so many forces out there that would have us assimilate. That there are so many forces out there that would have us lose ourselves, lose our identity. Forces out there that would have us fall back into slumber, that are attempting to placate us with things or whatever, um, in order to never walk into the fullness of the calling that we were given as a nation of kings and of priests. Okay. What I want to run past you really quickly here is the Hebrew language. The Hebrew language. Why Hebrew? Why learn it? Um, is it worth learning? Is it necessary? My love affair with the Hebrew language has spanned more than 4 decades, you guys, decades. And as I say often, you can look at me and tell that by no stretch of the imagination am I a spring chicken. Baruch Hashem, I thank um, Abba, I thank Yahuwah that He has blessed me to see 51 years of life, 51 years of life. And I pray His blessings for 50 more, if that be His will. But I want to have those 50 more, if He grants me those, walking in the path that was set before me. And I love the Hebrew language, especially the biblical text, the classical language. I love it. But I don't believe for a minute that He blessed me to learn it during childhood in order for me to just have it and to just sit on it. I want to share it with my family, with my brothers and sisters, with you out there, um, with this nation that has been shaken out of slumber and with the dust that has been shaken off of us. Um, Let me just say this. I believe that we have an untapped source of wonderful people that are a part of this family, Jacob's seed, um, the royal house of Judah. There are tribes out there. We're the Cadillac. I'm showing my age here. We're the Cadillac of the tribes. And no one else really comes home until we lead the charge. Until we lead the charge. Why Hebrew? Why Hebrew? This is going to be brief. It's not going to be long by any stretch of the imagination. But I want to use this video for whoever might see it to say that, hey, כדאי לך ללמוד את השפה הזאת. It's worth it. It's worthwhile to you to learn your language. Okay, the language of your ancestors. It's worthwhile, כדאי לך, to offer yourself the opportunity to be able to read the love letter that was written to you, the love letter that was written to you by Borei Haolam, by um, the creator of the universe. Okay? Why Hebrew? Let's throw a couple things on the wall and then get out of here. This is just an introduction video to say, hey, something's coming down the pipeline, and hopefully it's something that you can like and that you can share. There are a lot of people that are out there that are of our folks that are teaching Hebrew on some form, and it's good stuff. I've seen a lot of folks out there. There's um, I don't even know their names. I don't know that many people out here. Um, but just a couple things that you may already know, but nonetheless, just to catch your fancy here. What's in a word? Of, the Hebrew word for father, of the letter Aleph and the letter Bet. Aleph means first one or strong one. Bet is house. Av or father, he is the first one or the strong one of the house. Okay? Simple, right? How about mother? How about mother? M. M. What is the role of mother in a Hebrew home? Aleph, first one, strong one. Mem Sofit. Mem is water. It's associated with water. Mem, my or mime. Okay. Mem is also associated with rechem, the womb. The womb. Okay. And funny enough, the word rechem, spelled resh, chet, and a mem sofit, has the same letters as the word rachem, which means compassion or mercy. The womb is a place of compassion and mercy. This is why we have to not allow people to kill our offspring. The mem is also associated with divik, or it's a sticky substance, that which binds or holds things together. So, what is the role of M, or the mother in the Hebrew home? She's the first one, strong one. Okay, she is compassionate, she is merciful, right? Okay, and she holds things together. She holds things together. Water is also a symbol for the Ruach, or the Spirit. Okay, you don't want your mama praying that prayer, for the Most High to get your attention. Because when mothers pray and then they are in right standing, He listens. Case closed. So you might think to yourself, well, what about Abba and what about Ima? Abba and Ima. Well, Abba means father, or Av means father. Abba means daddy. It's a lot softer. It's a lot less authoritarian. Okay, it's a lot less authoritarian. Okay, so, one can be an authoritarian and still love you because he's doing things that are in your best interest. But Abba is more like daddy, it's softer. Also, another indication is that it begins in an aleph and it ends in an aleph. Any word that you see that ends in an aleph, very likely is an Aramaic word. And Abba is Aramaic. And this is why you hear it being referred to in the Brit HaChadashah, the New Testament, where we receive the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father, because the lingua franca during the first century was Aramaic. Okay, it was Aramaic. How about Ima? How about Ima? Ima is no different. Ima also ends in an aleph, and it is more like mummy. Ima, Ima is more like mummy. Okay, excuse me. Ima is more like mummy. Again, she's still first one. She's still strong one. She's still compassionate, merciful. She still holds things together. She's still spiritual. She flows like water. Sure. Okay. But Ima also, it ends in an aleph, so it's also a leftover word from Aramaic. How about a couple of personal names? A couple of personal names. A couple of personal names. How about the first man? How about the first man? Well, you have Adam. Adam, right? His name is spelled with an aleph, a dalet, and a mem sofit. Aleph, dalet, and a mem sofit. Okay? First one, or strong one. First one. And the Hebrew word for blood is, guess what? Dam. Dam. Dam is the Hebrew word for blood, spelled with a dalet and a mem sofit. Okay? So, Adam, he was first blood. First blood. Also, through his sin and through his disobedience, first blood had to be shed. Semitic languages run pretty much hand in hand. This is why the Hebrew word dam, its equivalent in Arabic is dim, dim, dim. But is that all that we can find in the name Adam? No, there's more. Depending on how we cantillate it, we can vowel point it like such, and it becomes Adom. Adom, the Hebrew word for red. Adom. First blood. What color is blood? Blood is red. How about if we cantillate it this way? It becomes Edom. Edom. Who is Edom? Edom is Isav. He is the guy, the brother of Yaakov, who sold his Bechorah or his birthright for a bowl of, as he termed it, red stuff. Okay? Nazed. So he became known as Edom. Edom, okay? How about this? What if we get rid of that final form of the mem, okay, change it to a regular mem, add a hey on the end, and cantillate it as Adama. Adama. Adama is earth or the ground. Earth or the ground, right? Adama. And if you've been to the modern state of Israel, you can see where they've chopped through a bunch of hills in order to open up highways. And that soil there is a rich, reddish brown color. Or you can go to my home state, Texas, and go to my birthplace, the small town of Palestine, Texas, and you will find that we have that same similar red, rich dirt there as well. Also, back to the final or the original form, if you look at the name Adam and you just want to take a peek at the pictorial value of Adam, you find first one or strong one, okay? A door, okay, that he passes through. Okay, and then there is water that's there as well, okay? First one, strong one, delet or door, dalet, okay? And water is there as well too. Blood and water, dam and mine is there as well. These are two of the major components that makes up any man, whether male or female. And of course, when Yeshua was pierced in his side, blood and water flowed as well. Now, you might think these things are just random things that are just spit out there. But no, you will find some amazing correlations in the language and some amazing connecting points as well. Why else besides words and things that seem to be interesting? Why else learn the language? Well, again, as I said earlier, it is the love letter that was written to his people. It was written to us. And why not learn to read it in its original form? One spot in particular that I really love is the book of Isaiah, called Yeshayahu in Hebrew, Yeshayahu. And in Yeshayahu, Perek Nun Vav, 56, it reads as follows, and this is what I'll use to close. It reads as follows, Isaiah chapter 56, verse 1, and I'm blind as a bat. I need glasses, you guys. This is, teeniest of the tiniest writings. They make these that have both, as a matter of fact, on there. It has both the, as it says, Torah, Nevi'im, and V'chotvim. So the Tanakh and the Brit HaChadashah all together in one nice, has a great new Bible smell as well too. New Bible smell. So it reads as follows. Ko amar Yehovah, shimru mishpat v'asu tzidka, ki krova yeshuati lavo v'tzidkati lehagalut. So it says, thus says Yahuwah, the God of Israel. He says, um, guard or preserve justice, right? And do righteousness because my salvation is close to come, okay? And my righteousness to be revealed. Ashrei enoshi ha'asezot uven adam yechazik ba shomer Shabbat mechalelo v'shomer yado. Let's see, masot kol ra. I really need to get some glasses. He says, praiseworthy is the man who does this, and the human being who grasps it. Okay, grasps what in particular? Shomer Shabbat mechalelo, to keep the Shabbat from being profaned. V'shomer yado ma'asot kol ra. Okay, and to keep his hands from all evil or wicked wrongdoing. Also in this chapter, it talks about um, the saris, who is a saris is a eunuch, a person who in the older times was considered to be not even a man, lower than an animal because he's lost, you know. Um, but in this chapter, it says, don't even let the eunuch say that I am a withered or dried up plant and that I am far away from Yahuwah, nor the stranger, right? He says that even for the eunuch, for the sarisim, the eunuchs, and for the strangers, he says that if you love my Shabbats, if you keep them from being profane, that's the weekly Shabbat and my Shabbats period, which are my feasts. Okay. He says that I will give to you a name and a monument, tov mibanim uvanot, better than the sons and daughters. And he says the house of my prayer will be a house of prayer for all nations. There's room in the family, but we have to come first, you guys. We have to come first. The Hebrew language, כדאי לך ללמוד את זה. It's worth it to you. It's. We need it as a family. We need it. Let's be apologists in the strongest of ways, in the most authoritative of ways. Let's not go outside to get people to read our book. Let's not go outside and tap outside resources to read something that belongs to us. We have the people in this community. We don't know who they are. Oh, you're meeting one. But there are a lot of people that are either maybe shy, they might need a little nudge or a little push. They might be intimidated because they're unknown. Okay, not the intimidated part, but just, I'm not really out there like that. I don't even have a computer yet, and I'm working on that because some things that you just can't do, on a phone. But I want to be a part of the solution that helps um, shake um, shake us as a nation out of the slumber into eyes wide open, walking into the season and into the plan that the Most High has laid out for us. Okay, building, and I've been hearing that from a lot of people with different channels. Let's build, let's build, let's build. Then let's. I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Okay. All right. Coming soon. Coming soon. More videos with information, and then I want to offer an opportunity um, for those who would um, to go after really grabbing a hold of what's ours. And we acknowledge that our eyes are starting to open and we know who we are. We don't have the land yet, but let's go get the language. Let's go get the language, okay? And again, Chag Sameach, last night of Chanukah. But let's keep fighting the fight because, again, it's not over with. The Hellenizers, the Antiochus Epiphanes, they're still out there in many forms. And it's a dark time right now, but let's continue to hold up the light of Messiah Yeshua, He proclaimed himself to be the light of the world. And then he turned immediately to his Talmidim and he said, you are the light of the world. So as the shamash on the menorah, on the Chanukiah up there, as the shamash, he lit 12 candles. Those 12 candles lit 70. And hey, you're the light of the world. It's time. Let's go, Israel. See you soon.